as I talk about generate and frame, this will fill out some more and we'll unpack what it means that there is a yes to everything. But just know that whatever question you have and whatever you want to create in your life, there is a yes in the universe. And so it's your job to find that yes, to know that there is a yes, and to make that happen in your life. Okay, what generate is generate is where you find the solutions from inside yourself. You find the questions from inside yourself. You find the creativity inside yourself. So instead of looking in the paper and finding what jobs are available, ask yourself, what would I like to be doing? What do I enjoy? What am I good at? What can I do that the day goes by without even thinking about it because I'm enjoying myself so much doing it? Well, some people are numbers people. They like math. And some people are people where they like to be talking with people and interacting with people. Some people like to be outdoors. Some people like to be doing something physical. Others like to be observing something or analyzing something or studying something. So you're figuring out questions like a scientist, or some people like to maybe be a park ranger. So people have different answers inside themselves. So what you want to do in creating your life is generate from inside yourself. Ask yourself the questions. If you are the authority, and you are the authority in your life, what would you generate if you were the one who could answer those questions? Okay, and the last one is frame. So what you want to do with frame is you want to frame your questions wisely. So let's put this up. Yes. There's a yes to everything. You generate those answers from inside yourself. And then you want to frame. Now there's a couple of things I want to let you know about framing. So you can frame your questions, but you can also frame your situations. So framing a question would be, instead of saying, why am I so stupid, or how come I can't do that? Do you hear the assumption in those questions? One that says, why am I so stupid? It assumes that I'm stupid. And the other is, how come I can't do that? It assumes that I can't do something. So those are disempowering questions. So you want to frame your questions in a way that is empowering. Like, how can I do this in a way that's fun, enjoyable, and rewarding for me? And that's a much more powerful question, because since there's a yes to everything and there's an answer and a solution to everything, framing your question in a way that's going to give you that answer or solution in a way that serves you is a very powerful thing. So when you ask questions about where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to get there, who you want to go there with, about anything in the day, you might be on the way to ask somebody a question, and you frame that question for them in a way that they can answer it in a way that's going to give you a great answer. So you just do a little thinking ahead. And in your own life, like I said, frame those questions that you're asking yourself in a way that you are going to get a powerful answers. And how you do that is you just practice. So you just start asking yourself questions and notice the quality of the answers you get. And if you're not getting quality answers, then go back and reframe the way you're asking the questions, because you can ask very empowering questions, like, if I was going to be completely happy with my choices and decisions, what choices and decisions would I be making? And you can visualize yourself in the place that you're going to be, and then ask yourself the questions that are going to get you there. So, so that's how you frame your questions, which is really important. You have to watch the questions you have in your mind. You have to watch the thoughts you're having. And it's just for a little while. Once you get into the habit of doing this, it's going to come automatically. But while you're switching from, maybe you used to ask disempowering questions, and you would end up being confused and frustrated about your life because of the thoughts you're thinking or the questions you're asking. So while you're transitioning from doing that to the other, you have to stay conscious about it. We download a lot of subconscious things, and they're sitting and they're acting on us. We download subconscious, disempowering, limiting identity thoughts about ourselves, like I am something negative. And we download how to do things or how to ask things or how to go about things. And all those things are sitting in there, and we're living our lives out of all those things that we've already downloaded. So when you're transitioning from something that's disempowering or limiting to you into something that's empowering and unlimited, during that transition period, before it gets downloaded, you need to download new things, right? And these new things will take the place of the old things you used to do. While you're downloading them, you have to choose it. You have to use your conscious mind. So there's conscious and subconscious. But while you're switching what you used to do into what you do now, into what you're going to do, what you will be doing, what you're now learning, you've got to be aware and say, this is what I choose. Because those things that are in there now, at some point in the past, you chose those things. So they're in there acting upon you. You don't have to think about them, just like you don't have to think about your heart beating or your digestion, or all these things happen automatically. Well, those thoughts that you downloaded, those are happening automatically too, because they're already in there. It's kind of like a belief that you're holding on to. All right, so if you're switching that, you've got to stay awake and say, okay, what new belief do I want to input? What new idea do I want to have about myself? What new questions do I want to be asking? And then you practice that for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, 2 months. Once you do that, you have now replaced the old stuff with the new stuff, and you don't have to think about it anymore. It's in there. But you have to think about it for an amount of time until it becomes a habit. So that's why you use your conscious mind to create something new. And then what you created new, you do habitually for an amount of time until it becomes your subconscious. And then it will act upon you. Right now, everything that's been downloaded is acting upon you. And as you choose, and then you put in something new, that new stuff will begin to act upon you. So that's all a habit is. Something you've done long enough to where now you don't have to think about it. You're doing it automatically. So that's how you switch. Okay, so you want to ask empowering questions. You want to frame your questions in an empowering way. All right, now the second way that you can use frame is in situations with people. So what you're going to do is frame yourself as your new identity. That will come from that. There's nothing wrong with you. Saying empowering things. And you want to you want to learn to frame others the way you want to frame them. Like, who is this person to you? We're doing it all the time unconsciously. We're doing it in ways that limit ourselves. But so you want to frame yourself in a way that's empowering. You want to frame yourself in a way where it's going to ease and facilitate you stepping into whatever life creation or situation you want to step into. And we're going to say a lot more about creating and skills and strategies about moving into creating your life in ways that you want to in more of the future strategies. But this is just an introduction to the idea of framing. So let's say I'm framing myself as someone who is knowledgeable, or I'm framing myself as someone who is skilled, or I'm framing myself as someone who can handle something, right? And then I'm framing someone else as someone who's going to say yes to me. This is the person who will say yes to me. So then as I interact with that person, I am treating them as the frame that I have already put them in. Or if, and people do this automatically, so it's not really manipulative unless you use it for, negative purposes. But what you do is say, so say you're someone who wants to have a date with someone. Well, you're not going to go there thinking, well, I suck and they're probably going to tell me no. Now, some people do that, and that's what they end up happening. But if you frame someone else as someone who is a kind person who's interested in you, and you frame yourself as someone who's confident and fun to be with, well, that's a winning frame. right? So now I'm in a situation when I'm talking to this person that my mind is going to see everything out of that frame, and I'm going to act out of that frame, and I'm going to assume a frame onto them that serves myself and them, because I'm a good person, and if they say yes to me, that's a good thing because I'm a good person. And yeah, some of these life skills and strategies people can use for manipulative or means that may not be serving to someone else, but I believe it's better to know them. And then if you are a good person, if someone is using it against you, you will see it. So I think it's better for everybody to have all the knowledge they need, and then the people who might be used or abused will be aware of what's going on. So I'd rather have everybody be empowered with the knowledge than think that my sharing it means some evil person is going to use it to their advantage. Well, if everybody knows it, then everybody's going to see it, and that means someone can't use it to their advantage. So if you're someone who's used to framing yourself in a disempowering position, well, now you can frame yourself in an empowering position, because like I said, all possibilities are open to you. I said that in the There's Nothing Wrong With You video. So watch that video, and then you'll see how you can say, I am this and you are this, and then you act out of that knowing, instead of carrying some subconscious disempowering limiting belief around with you that doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve the world, it doesn't serve anybody. So that is number 3 on Keep It 100. There's a yes to everything. You generate from inside yourself, and you frame your questions powerfully, and you frame your situations powerfully. That's it for today's episode. I'm Tia Turnbull of Champion of Champions Coaching, and this is Keep It 100, 100 strategies, life skills that you can use to get yourself from where you were to where you want to be. So if you would like to be informed on when more videos come out, hit the like and subscribe and tap the bell, and you will know when my next videos come out. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Until then, champion yourself to be